Hello, everybody. Hi. It is not Dr. Nick. It is Ian. So I got a little more of the interior done last night from about 9 to midnight with this wild pack of beasts from the YouTube world. The Hobby Time Modelers group invited me to their live stream. I was honored. I did it. It was fun. It devolved a bit as we could. You could see because the stream's simul-streamed and is saved on my channel. Earmuffs if you watch it. I mean, listen, my content is not intended for children, okay? And I mean, my demographic, like 90% of them are 35 to 65. So, I think you could all handle an F-bomb, or 17 in the case of last night's thread. But we do 3 hours of live footage. Stuff happens. Everybody was drinking. It was a blast. I really had fun with those guys. So back to this. I'm a glutton for punishment. We did some little mods here. Okay, we've got our little switches in from, I know it's upside down. We got our switches in from Darren Gurney. We did our gold box mods from Darren Gurney. We did some, time series, whatever the heck, that TFC switch internal mods from Darren Gurney. And I was a glutton for punishment. I had to make the off and on lights functional because there's outputs from the wireless remote module that I got. So we have a working off light, nice and bright red. And then let me take my little test lead and we'll hook and Z up to the green light. Now this was not easy, but it was not super difficult. And we got our little green light. So now when we turn on the car, we'll have the on, and then we have it off. It'll if the car is powered but not turned on, it'll be the red light. So that's cool. We also did. Now this was maddening. I'm glad you didn't have to sit through this mess. This 3D printed part to replace this boring this solid plastic thing here, which is just whatever. I mean, it's fine. But we got this great 3D printed piece from Darren Gurney. So I had to cut all the wires. I had to drill out all these little holes a little bit. But it looks marvelous, darling. Marvelous. I love it. So now I got some mini zip ties going. I got a couple on so far. I'm going through mini zip tying stuff. This is going to be this is one of the most tedious parts of the car, is the interior wiring. It's kind of a beast. It's notorious for that, though. I expected it. The my blah 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 BTTDTF, DeLorean, Todd's website, the tutorial website that everybody knows and everybody loves. He's got some great photos. I'm just gonna follow his photos, reference the instructions for certain things, but all these little, can't even see them. Let's zoom out a little here. Yeah, I got this tray. There's just a million little wires in here. It's intimidating, to say the least. But, there we go. Get our flux capacitor going. Gonna get the Back to the Future motion picture score going. And I'll be back with some progress on this wiring. Really, it's just take your time, follow the instructions, follow Todd's photos. Those are great. They're better than the instructions. You just gotta power through it. I know, it's a slog. Strategic crazy glue application is recommended. And all I can say is do not spray Zip Kicker anywhere on the painted dashboard, or probably on any of these painted parts in here. I got the recent tip last night on the build thread. I'm not going to use this anymore. I'm going to use this, and I am going to put it in a mini syringe. Tiny syringes are available on Amazon. Amazon will then think you have diabetes because they're insulin syringes, but they're the tiniest little things, and they're fantastic for putting down itty-bitty bits of liquids. So we're going to use that kicker when we do use crazy glue, if we can't wait for it to dry on its own. So there's the tips. No crazy glue on any of the painted interior bits on this car if you can help it. It didn't completely destroy my dashboard, but there's a little bit of a weird spot right there behind this silver and red thing. You could just make it out on camera, I think. But yeah, just be careful. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to micro zip tie hell. Okay, all right. We're doing this to make it look accurate to the A car at the Peterson Automotive Museum. These zip ties are great. Mike Lane's mods, I mean, honestly, they go on fairly easy. A couple pairs of tweezers, they go. It's just so damn fiddly. But well worth the expense and the toll on your mental health to put all these little zip ties on. After you get them on and you're positioned, a little tiny dab of crazy glue to hold the zip tie latch shut, and possibly a tiny dab of crazy glue just to keep the zip tie where you want it on the wires so it doesn't slide around at all. Because you can't crank these down like a regular zip tie. You gotta go click, 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 and then that last click, and it snaps off. They're delicate because they're just so damn small. So just get it tight enough, but not tight as a tiger. Just snug. And then you can get a little dab of crazy glue and no kicker. Remember, no kicker. This dashboard's paint is not resilient enough. They didn't clear coat it with like a lacquer. Like standard, like Mr. Hobby or Tamiya, a clear flat or clear semi-gloss. They didn't do that. So the kicker just, paint doesn't like it. But either way, we're moving along nicely. We've got some wires there. We've got some steering wheel. Come on, get back in your home. Telescopic steering wheel might not have been a feature on the DeLorean in '81, but it is here. So just a metric shit ton of wires, basically, and this little 3D printed splitter guy. You basically get the wires to here, snip them all off, save the spares, put them in, little dab of crazy glue in each hole. Got all the little wires in there. There we go. Just looking nice. There we go. Another 17 hours of zip ties, and I'll be done with this part. And then someone reminded me, thank you, Todd, we got the rear bulkhead, and then obviously the flux wires and all the stuff on the outside. Yes, I know, there's a lot more zip ties. But yeah, no, I just like to complain. It's fun. I don't know. Okay, either way, I'm going to take my complaining ass back to putting zip ties on and more wires in, and then we got to secure the wires to the back of the, I guess, firewall, we would call it, even though the engine's in the back. So it's not really a firewall, technically. But either way, progress is being made. Be right back. All right, I'm going to do a small victory lap here. Issue 48 is finally done. It's looking good. The zip ties, they just really make everything pop. It looks great. I threw a little black panel line accent from Tamiya into the defroster vents and that speaker grill just to make them pop a little bit. They needed a little something. But yeah. This was 48 was a big pain in the ass. 49 looks like pain in the ass junior. It's going to be a lot of wires again. But now that 48's done, I want to burn this friggin' piece of the instruction manual. But 48's done. Goodbye. Adios. Hope I never see you again. 49. More frickin' wires. Oh, God. Oh, more wires. This one doesn't look as bad. It doesn't look nearly as bad. So we're gonna get kicking on 49. I don't think I'm gonna have any tips for you that I didn't already go over about the zip ties. I stabbed myself with that insulin syringe full of zip kicker. I can't bend my finger anymore. That's it. It's done. No, I'm kidding. You just squeeze out the blood. Squeeze the poison out. Is this flammable vapor fatal if swallowed? What happens if you inject yourself with it by accident? I should be fine. If you don't see any more videos from me, you all know what happened. BRB. So you got to get all of these wires, bundled together and shoved through the dashboard. I'm going to put a little heat shrink on the end of here because it's better than electrical tape. Only one guy is going to get that joke, and that's only if he's watching this video. Like the whole thing. Using our little trusty Makita because I like paying way too much for fun cordless tools. Alright, there we go. This thing works great. I love this little thing. Okay, so we have those heat shrink together. Makes it a little more manageable because we gotta pull it through and shove it out the front of the dashboard like so. Come on, get. See, that's why you wanna you want to get, there we go. You want to get either electrical tape or the far superior heat shrink tubing on them to pull them through. And then they're going to get bolted down by a little plastic tab, which is pretty weak. So I'm probably going to throw a little spot of CA glue on there, and my diabetes needle of kicker. Well, I could just spray kicker on this. No one's going to see this part. But yeah, that's where we're going with that. And then they come out through here, and we have a whole big mess of crap that we have to zip tie together with more of those lovely micro zip ties from Mike Lane that are beautiful and perfect and a huge pain in the ass. You get used to it, though, I guess. You get used to it. But, you know, you come to this channel to hear me complain and do stuff. So I'm going to get doing stuff, and I'll be back to complain more. Be right back. So we're using the little Mike Lane cable ties, of course. Oh, sorry, telescopic steering wheel again. I'm using some of the kit zip ties just to get the wires arranged how I want. Then I'm going to plop the little Mike Lane mini zip ties in where appropriate, about 4 of them for this section. And then I'll just cut off these factory zip ties very carefully. This way you keep your wires arranged, because the mini zip ties are very delicate. So if you have the wires bundled as tight as they can go already with real, like, strong zip ties, it'll make it easier to get those little mini ones properly tightened without, you know, trying to bundle things together using them as strength. They have no strength. Minimal. But yeah, that's my tip for this if you're using the Mike Lane mini zip ties. I'll be right back. Alright, well, we got the first half of stage 49 done. We got our little bundle all zip tied together with little Mike Lane zip ties. I added a little... don't use your middle finger, Ian. I added a tiny little dab of crazy glue here and here, right between the center console carpet area and the wires, just to keep them in place, because that's where they need to be ultimately. And everything is screwed it in here, and oh, we got some more stuff here. I wonder what else goes in this. We'll figure it out. So yeah, it's coming along very nicely. Very not bad. Uh-oh, text message. That can't be good. Alright, I'll be back, hopefully. Okay, we're back from the Mexican restaurant, and I have destroyed a USB cable. So if we look up close, I have wrapped it in masking tape. This is on Todd's website. There's some ducting inside the real DeLorean Time Machine. Well, the A car from the movie, and almost all the replicas. And it's basically a very small, flexible ducting hose that race cars would use. I have some in my truck for brake cooling ducts. And the type that's on the DeLorean is an older type. Basically, it is a fiberglass cloth coated, impregnated tube with a spiral, a metal spiral to hold it, to have it hold shape. And generally that metal is covered, but in the DeLorean's case, it's a a clear. You could see the metal, and there's kind of a clear coat over it, like another clear layer, sort of ish, kinda. But usually that metal is, it's a zinc chromate plated, just not even spring steel, but it's just shit metal. So on Todd's website, he painted it desert yellow and clear coated it. I am actually going to paint it gold. Yeah, a little different. Because I've been around quite a few race prepped vehicles. I've race prepped my own vehicle, and I've handled said ducting in real life. And the one in the DeLorean, that ducting is just super old and oxidized. So we're going for a little more of a, fresh 1985 off the showroom floor DeLorean Time Machine. So I'm going to go with the gold on here. And then I've got another trick that Todd did not do. I'm going to do one more treatment and a couple different things, actually. I'm not using any electrical tape on this car. So we'll be back with what happens. All right, see you soon. Okay, a whole lot of more zip. The little zip ties take very long. They're worth it. They're worth it every minute of agony. Now, the ducting thing is missing here. I told you about that already. Here we go. Here's the duct. It's a thin USB, well, not a thin USB. It's a fairly thick USB cable. And I wrapped it in 2mm masking tape and spiral around it. And I sprayed it with gold. not dark yellow. So Todd's website said dark yellow, and he clear coated it. I say gold, and sorry, don't clear coat it, because I am going to clear heat shrink tube it, because that's going to give it a little more of a translucent look, and we want to leave a little, going to leave a little bit at the end here to tuck under the time circuit keypad, and we got more after this. I'll be right back. Okay, we're done. And we got a little orange heat shrink tubing over that. I found electrical tape usually lets go after a while, so I went with heat shrink tubing. It will not let go, and our tube, while a tiny bit thick in my opinion, should be just fine. It could have been better. I could have gotten a pre-made tube from Model Mods, but they were out of stock at the time, and shipping is 15 pounds minimum. It's not their fault. It's just what it costs to get the parcel from UK to here, in a reasonable time frame. So we did this. The next best thing. I'll be right back with it installed. Oh my God, why did I do this? But we've got our tubey, ducty thing with our orange little tapey mark and zip ties, and it looks phantasmagorical. And, oh man, I am frustrated. But that's the... People go, how do you have the patience for this? I honestly don't. I don't know how I have the patience for this. This particular one, the zip ties are really trying my patience. Mike Lane is the only game in town. The zip ties are fantastic. All of his products are fantastic, but the zip ties will test your mental fortitude and your emotional well-being. That being said, I'm finally done with this bit, and we're done with stage 49, issue 49, whatever you want to call it, stage, issue, bada. Yeah, 49 is done. On to 50. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm pretty tired. I just beat the living hell out of myself today, getting whatever here is done. Because last night in the live stream, I didn't get a whole lot done. Not really. I really just bitched and moaned and complained and joked around with the guys a lot. But tonight I got stuff done. That's fantastic. Let's see. I think I'll try a little more. I'll pull out stage 50. If it looks ridiculous, I'll show you. That'll be the end of the episode. Otherwise, I'll do stage 50. We'll be right back. Well, 50 was thankfully just a seat, and the seats are awesome. So the outer part of the seat is rubber. There's a piece of sponge in the middle, like, foam, open cell foam, and then the back is plastic and metal. It's awesome. Look, there's smushy. They smoosh. Oh, and to think I was going to order 3D printed seats that didn't smoosh. Now, this rubber may break down over time and be a horrible, horrible thing, but they're smushy. Oh, look at this smush. They're so squeezy like little teddy bears. I love them. Ah, awesome. I'm glad the seat that just clears. This extra pipe, it takes up a little bit of space, but everything clears. That's awesome. Okay, we're gonna throw in the other seat, and then I don't know what's after that. So like sills or something. Well, yeah, not a big deal. Oh, not a ton of wires, at least. At least not yet. We do have another one of those little gold stripy tube things to make with the leftovers from before, but that shouldn't be too big of a problem. I will be back. Okay, I think we're done for the night. Stage, issue, whatever, step 50 and 51 are done. Smushy seats! Look at that. Look at that. That's nice. We got little sticky stickers. You see those little circles? They're covering up screw holes. I don't know if you would ever see the back of these seats, because they do lean forward a bit. Well, no, that's actually a decent amount. So, I mean, I guess technically you could see them. The 3D printed resin seats are possibly, more accurate looking or whatever. But I love these rubbery squishy things. These are great. I might hit them with a little Aerospace 303 protectant just to seal the rubber. But, yeah, we can. Jeez, man. Okay, the inside of this car is a big pain in the ass, but it is looking so sweet. Look at that. That is awesome. Awesome. Todd, you're going to have zoom focus like this soon. Your camera's coming in, what, tomorrow? There you go. I know I'm talking to somebody directly. We are frenemies. No, we're not. I just wanted to use that term because it's just so underused these days. But yeah, there we go. Looks great. That's awesome. It's like frickin' midnight again. I'm just down here way too much. The wife is traveling for business tomorrow, Sunday. So I will be splitting my time between the basement and dog sitting because the doggies need quality time. I love my little pooches. So, you know, I'll be hanging out with them. Then I'll come down here for a little while and then I'll go up and hang out with them and, you know, have some frozen pizza and whatever. There we go. That's awesome. Oh, man. This thing is sick. It's just sick. All right. It's getting heavy, too. The seats have some die-cast in them. The die-cast is behind the rubber. Yeah, it's very nice. Steering wheel's die-cast, steering shaft's die-cast. Not a ton of die-cast in the, passenger compartment. But yeah, enough that it weighs a fair amount. Add all it up, this thing is going to be basically a movable object when we're done. But that's what we planned for. Static model. Static. Not dynamic. Well, it'll be dynamic. It'll have lighting everywhere. That'll be cool. Either way. Oh, Pitch and Hobbies. Signing off. Somebody's gonna think yawning is rude on the video. Probably from Germany. It'll probably be the same guy who didn't like the burping. Either way, see you guys next time on Pit Stain Hobbies. And tomorrow we may do some live streaming with the Hobby Time Modelers again. Hopefully we'll keep it a little closer to PG-13. I lost one subscriber. I don't know, maybe they just saw all the F-bombs and were like, I'm out of here. I watched this with my 4-year-old daughter. The channel is not for adults. Do not bring your kids. Or earmuffs. Earmuffs on occasion. We occasionally go, oh shit. And on Hobby Time Modelers, those guys are extra surly. They're all ex-military. Either way, see you next time. I love this thing. We're going to keep working on DeLorean until she's done. As we do with, I think, every build so far. We've never quit a build on YouTube. I got to finish fixing the Airwolf. I do have to finish repairing that. That's a whole different story, though. There's third parties involved I have no control over. I'll see you guys next time. Adios.